This is International Roundups. I'm Dennis Aseto. Today we begin from the continent of Africa, where Ugandan civil rights activists have taken matters into their own hands when it comes to dealing with matters to do with HIV/AIDS, which continues to be a problem not only in Uganda but across the world, as the world continues to commemorate International World AIDS Day.
In a way of looking for survival, it started as something which I never knew that what I was doing was sex work. So I could exchange sex for some of the things, for example, food. And then later on, there was a friend of mine who introduced me to the business that, you know what, there is something that we can do and we get money. I and my colleagues sat down and thought about something that was really sustainable for us as the sex work community. And the fact that we had that empowerment, we had that, we had gained that confidence. We felt that we can have something that belonged to us, an organization that is really targeting sex workers, for sex workers and by the sex workers. As an organization, we have over 40 peer educators who are being stationed in different hotspots or different areas in our catchment area. So we use the peer educator model, which is really working for us because it is the fellow sex worker who can link you to other female sex workers or other sex workers.
They came for us and brought us to this hospital. They tested us and found us positive. But now I'm receiving drugs from here, and they even call me to remind me if I miss the dates to pick my medicine.
Having a clinic that is led by a sex worker, one, they feel they have something that they own as sex worker, as a sex work community. And also the level of stigma, they also have a feeling that there is no stigma associating with a clinic that is led by sex workers because it is their own, it is led by them, they have peer educators who reach to them, and also the services are tailored to meet the needs of the sex workers.
Still on HIV/AIDS, and we go to South Africa, in Johannesburg to be specific, where the country is looking at ways it will be funding and dealing with the scourge of HIV. This after the United States government pulled out its resources in funding USAID. Take a look.
We immediately then need to write up contingency plans to make sure that nobody that's on treatment is not able to get their treatment. To also make sure that people that are panicking on the ground, in some way they get calmed, but also to ensure that the systems that we're running continue running. The staff members that were withdrawn, we must then see if we can expand our own staff to cover that space. We don't want people to die, and I can assure you our facilities are ready to receive people. The Minister of Health launched the massive campaign of getting 1.1 million people back on treatment. We don't want that to be affected also. We want to protect it. We want to make sure that we push, working together, the people who are living with HIV, the entire civil society under SANAC, private sector coming to the party, government departments that some of which were beneficiaries of paper funding must come to the party. Department of Basic Education, Department of Social Development, of Self-Health, Department of Correctional Services. We want these people to come to the party so that we can join hands together. So we are confident that South Africans working together, we should be able to close the gap. The Minister of Health, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, has met several people, private sector, philanthropic organizations, public institutions. There's an ongoing discussion between us and National Treasury about what is available, what is possible, what's not possible. So we're meeting many other people.
Still in the continent, we go to Guinea-Bissau, where citizens are asking for stability. This following the coup that happened in the country, and citizens are now asking for stability politically so that they are able to continue with their normal lives.
As a citizen and a woman, I feel bad about this situation because I voted to be heard, which is not happening. As a Ghanaian citizen, I'm not satisfied with this. The people were waiting for the results to be announced on Thursday, and we were not expecting what happened.
We vote as citizens and we want to see who won. We are all Guineans. The transition will not help us at all. What I ask of the Guinean people is that we are one people. Whoever wins should take power. Others have already lost and accepted it, and the same should happen here. It's not the end of the world.
None of us are happy with what is happening because it is a situation that has left the country further behind. But people have become resigned to a situation that keeps the country truly deeply behind. Everything in the nation is coming to a halt. So in this very difficult and delicate moment,
As a citizen, I'm going to make an appeal because the people give power. Power belongs to the people, and if people go to the polls, they must see the results. I ask the population to remain calm and our authorities to hand over power to the people, who are the greatest force in democracy.
From Guinea-Bissau, we go to Mali. And in Mali, there has been a problem with fuel subsidies and supply of the same in the country. They are now happy as the Malian government has done everything to ensure stable and normal supply of fuel in that country. It is all celebration as things slowly come back to normal.
Really, fuel is available now. We no longer have to queue. We salute our authorities and all our acquaintances until the end of our days. They accomplished something important, and we are convinced of it. He is a great man, and we trust him. The fuel problem is over today and will be over tomorrow too. Petrol is easy to find, and that allows us to work without difficulty. We sincerely thank the authorities. Assimi is a great man. Every day, convoys of tankers arrive in Bamako. We support Assimi today and will continue to support him tomorrow. He really does everything he says he will do, and he is a great man. Even for the liberation of Kidal, he made a promise and he kept it. Fuel too. He gave a deadline, and that deadline was met. Anyone who hates Assimi, we will chase them out of Mali. We, the motorcycle taxi drivers, support him. Personally, I say this: Assimi is working. He came to find the country in difficulty, and we are going to solve these problems together. It is true, we used to have to queue for ages at petrol stations, but today there is no longer any problem. I can take a customer even when I'm out of fuel, because I can just pop into a station to fill up before setting off to find them. Now, petrol is available everywhere.
And in Somalia, tourism has continued to do well and improve, despite international travel advisories that its citizens should not go to Somalia. Why exactly? Seems Somalia is doing something positive.
I really liked the country. It's very beautiful, and the people are kind and generous. You find in them the same Arab culture that we have. Honestly, what surprised me is the lifestyle here. It's natural form, not the kind of life we live. Always going to restaurants, cafes and showing off. I haven't seen that here. This visit to Somalia is my third time, and the third time I visit Mogadishu. For me, Somalia is one of the most beautiful African countries a person can visit. Honestly, Somalia is a media misrepresented country that truly deserves better. Sincerely, all love and respect, the Somali people are kind-hearted. As for my first impressions, when I first saw the military checkpoints and the police and the strict security, I expected the situation to be unsafe. I expected it to be very bad. But honestly, I saw nothing but goodness.
And still in the eastern part of the continent, we go to Congo, the Republic of Congo. These as the residents have continued to call for blood donation in order to be able to deal with emergency cases in the hospitals. Take a look.
We also brought two MT-25 medical transport systems, and both are here in front of you. One is here and the other is in the box. You will see it here. This is the sample. We also provided, again for blood donation, a citrate bag kit, meaning we provided more than 500 citrate bags, according to the doctor's requests. We also provided tests because we felt that blood must be clean so that it doesn't transmit diseases. That is why, in the intravenous clinics, you'll see syphilis tests, HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C tests. With a truly considerable capacity, a considerable quantity depending on the objective of the activity, capable of detecting up to 2,500 samples regarding medications, we choose the highest priority medications.
Il y a insuffisance de conservation de corps sans vie. Donc le service de morgue est seulement organisé à l'hôpital général de référence d'Uvira et qui est déjà insignifiant, qui ne sait plus contenir le corps sans vie. Parfois on est en train de les reposer d'abord par terre pour mettre d'autres au froid. Et ça c'est un besoin énorme.
Now 81 years ago in Senegal, a general was killed. But today, the President Faye, has decided to celebrate this man who was killed by the colonial army. It is a time for the country to remember its fallen soldiers at a time when the country is free and enjoys democracy.
The wounded heart of Thiayore serves as a reminder that the truth never fades. It always ends up demanding justice. This is why we are here today to honor the memory of the Senegalese riflemen and Africans from various backgrounds who shed their blood for the liberation of France. Their fate was tragic once their mission was over, as they were brutally murdered by the colonial army, their only crime being to demand payment for their services.
Une armée professionnelle, c'est parce qu'il y a la présence de nos valeureux tirailleurs.
From Africa, we go to Asia. And in Asia, Indonesia has experienced the worst flood that has left many affected. But now they are slowly getting back there by building from the ground up.
Bukan hampir, semua warga jadi korban.
Not almost, but all residents were victims. There was not a single person who was not a victim. All the houses were destroyed and the mud piled up to 1.8 meters. The height is high. Help from the district government should arrive as soon as possible. To the district government or provincial government, please look after us in Nyonasa Lok village, Mereudu sub-district PDA Jaya, so that we can continue as usual. Because here, the soil is buried up to 1.8 meters. We can't do anything.
From Indonesia, we go to Sri Lanka. And in Sri Lanka, a cyclone hit, leaving hundreds affected. But that notwithstanding, life has to continue. They are learning to build their lives and continue as normal.
As you can see, we are facing a lot of difficulties because of the floods. Since last night, we have moved our belongings outside. I am very sad about this situation. We request that the government do something for us.
Previously, this was not flooded this much.
Previously, this was not flooded this much. From today morning onwards, this has been flooded this much. There are a lot of people, as you can see, in the building and in the surrounding areas. Currently, there is no access to Athuragure Road from this way. If there is an alternative on the other side of the road, then it will be 2 kilometers from here. Possibly, there will be more flooding in this area than this.
Items or anything like that.
We just came back from Brazil in Belém for COP30. But now, protesters are back on the streets. This after the lawmakers made decisions doing everything that President Lula da Silva had put in place in matters conservation. One would ask the question, after hosting COP30, why go against everything that deals with environmental conservation?
We are here today in the hot sun, always remembering that we are in a climate crisis and we cannot let vetoes as important as LULAs be overturned. We cannot let bills like this pass. We cannot let laws that make environment law more flexible.
And we go to Peru, and in Peru, the Peruvian army has gone to the border with Chile. This after a state of emergency was called by the president. Just why exactly have the military gone to the borders?
According to the decree, we have unified operational coordination command that is under the leadership of the chief of Tacna Police Region, General Valverde. So the armed forces patrols integrate as support, so the police is going to work jointly with the armed forces personnel.
Conjunta con el personal de la Fuerza Armada. Se está haciendo el planeamiento.
Concurrently, planning is being carried out with both the police and the army, so that in 3 points that are expected to be the crossings, a permanent post with lighting is installed. That is going to be quite a deterrent so that they do not cross the border. At first, we are going to deploy 50 personnel, and we are going to evaluate increasingly by 50 more if necessary. The troops, 50 additional, are ready in Tacna to move immediately if required.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky found himself in Paris, and in Paris he was embraced and hugged by French President Emmanuel Macron. But why exactly the hug? This coming just a few weeks after the president met in Washington, D.C., but President Zelensky is facing corruption allegations. Does he need a hug? Or do the Ukrainians deserve justice?
Notamment pour les photographes, et les voici. Donc ils vont remonter les marches de ce coordonneur de l'Élysée pour aller débuter donc cette réunion de travail qui va commencer, qui sera suivie d'un déjeuner de travail avant que les deux hommes ne fassent tout à l'heure une déclaration. Ce sera dans la cour de l'Élysée à l'issue de leur réunion. S'il vous plaît, que les deux hommes prennent leur temps pour s'il vous plaît. Le président, c'est poignée de main, l'accolade précédemment, ces images elles sont extrêmement importantes aujourd'hui, au moment où Volodymyr arrive affaibli. C'est une manière.
From Ukraine, knock knock next door is Russia, and in Russia it is the International Gingerbread Festival, and here the streets are smelling nice and sweet. Why exactly? Because cinnamon is there and the Russians are enjoying the taste. Take a look.
The atmosphere is very creative, gingerbread-like. Everything is very beautiful. Many wax evoke delight. The smell is amazing. Everything is great. The festival's opening was wonderful.
Such a celebration, we didn't expect so many people to gather. We are glad that there are so many guests. Songs are interspersed with greetings. People are congratulating each other. When we were assembling this structure, it was indeed a lasting celebration. We celebrated for 3 days, happy to see each other and share such beauty with people. More than 300 craftsmen are gathering from all over the country. They come from different cities to showcase their products and achievements, and at the same time to learn from one another and find new technological or artistic solutions. Gingerbread is also a work of art, not just something to eat. The emotions are positive as possible. It's quite a good event, well organized, with lots of gingerbread and sweets. So we are touring. Right here, we were just making gingerbread.
From hugs in Paris to enjoying bread in Russia, this is International Roundup with me, Dennis Asseto, in partnership with Violet.